One of the objectives we have for this chapter is to work with more advanced functions in our queries. And one of the ones that we've seen are the is null function and the IIF function. So let's go give it a try and see them in action. We're going to create a new query. So we're going to create query design. We'll add in the animals table. And what we're going to do is we're going to expand this so I can see all of the fields. And we'll type in the animal's name, the animal type, and were they adopted? If they were adopted, who owns them? And when were they adopted? So we've got the basics here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and look for, first of all, we're going to look for animals that were adopted. So we're just going to say yes. This is adopted. As we've gone into the table before, we've seen that it's a yes-no field. You may need to double check and open up your field again to say, how would I filter this? And just look at the data and make a determination. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flag those fields where they're adopted, so yes, but there is no owner name. So we're going to open up the builder. We can go to the functions, the built-in functions, and we'll just scroll down here through them. I never can remember what expression category they're in, but we're going to go to the IIF. Double click, and there we have it. IIF, the expression, what are you trying to work with? Determine is it true or false? What do you say when it's true? What do you do when it's false? So we're going to take expression, highlight it, and delete it because we're going to go in and we're going to add a function. So under inspection, we're going to go to is null. You'll see is null, IIF, is null expression, then true part and false part. The expression, we're just going to highlight it and delete it, and we're just going to say, okay, we want to know if the owner name field is empty. So we'll just put in owner name. Now we have a true part. This is what's going to happen when it is true. Generally, it's going to print out something. So we'll just say, if the owner name is true, then we're going to say it's an error. Notice that I'm putting it in parentheses. That is saying I want to print this string out. Then if it's false, it means what do I want it to do? I'm going to say it's okay. There's nothing special about this because we have all the information. And then we're going to go click OK. Now you'll notice that when it puts it in, it gives it the name of expression 1. We're going to say, change that to owner error. So what does this mean? Well, when we run this now, we'll see all the animals that are adopted. They should have an owner name, an owner phone, and a date of adoption. We just checked owner name in this case. You'll notice this one doesn't, and notice it flags error. Error again. This gives us a chance that we can cut through all of this. Now, what we can do is we can add more criteria. We can filter it by date, etc., and print this out and have a record to start figuring out what's going on here. A lot of times with databases, you will go do a search for missing or bad data and try to figure out what's going on here. Is this a bookkeeping error? Are these animals actually adopted? Were they falsely noted as being adopted? Or does this exist before you added in the system where you had to have all that information? You may want to put in just unknown into this area, but you'll have to figure out what you're working with there. So we've got that. Now, another way to look at that is you could just go in and filter it down here. We're using the is null function. Just go is null. Means is there no value in it? And when we run it, we're only going to get the ones that have the error. This would be an even easier way to churn this out. Print out this or export this as an Excel sheet or turn it into a report. But this way we've used those functions. You'll notice that we can nest those functions inside of each other as long as the function inside for the expression is going to produce a true or false answer, because those are the only ones that the IIF can deal with and evaluate.